Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of great information that we want to share with you tonight. We're going to be talking about retirement, and that is quite a dilemma for a lot of Americans today. When I was growing up, people worked for the same company for 30 years. At the end of that, they got a pension plan, and they got a gold watch. Well, those days are long gone. The government has told us we're basically responsible for our own retirement. Hence, we have IRAs and 401ks. Social Security just meant as a stopgap measure. It's not a retirement program. So we're going to talk about a crusade that we're on to help Americans retire with dignity. So let me start off with a quick, easy question. Will you be able to retire and have the lifestyle at age 65 that you'll enjoy at age 64? And will you be able to do that indefinitely? Most of us would have to say, no, we couldn't do that. Well, I want to tap into a lot of the solution that we have for that. My name is Rick Walsh. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Freedom Equity Group, and I've been 33 years full-time in the direct sales in the insurance industry. Been the author of 2 books on the subject, and publisher of the industry's trade journal. Been a guest on numerous radio and television talk shows as an advocate for our industry, and built many sales teams into the thousands of individuals. And so it's with that background that I'd like to talk to you about a whole new world of opportunity. And that whole new world of opportunity is the ability to retire early, to retire in style, and to retire tax-free. We're going to talk about some common sense retirement strategies and how you can get 300% more spendable income. We want to let you know what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. Because you see, we're on a crusade. We're on a crusade to change your future, to change your family's well-being, and to change America. You have a chance to be part of a revolution and to change the retirement landscape of America. And America really does need our help. So let me tell you in a few short sentences what it is that we provide. We provide a financial retirement vehicle that grows with stock market-like returns but doesn't have the downside risk of the market. It is completely income tax-free and can be totally funded for you or for your family should you get sick or die. And then we're going to talk about the opportunity for you to earn over $1,000 on just the initial $300 investment by your client. Help us spread the word to help Americans retire with dignity. Now you got to be wondering, wow, that sounds too good to be true. Is it legal? Who would be behind such a program? Well, our product is funded and backed by a company with over $20 billion in assets, and they're over 100 years old, and we'll get into that. So how big is our market? Well, there's 200 million people in need of common sense financial retirement solutions. Take, for example, the 82 million millennials. Their ages 20 to 34. 50% of current college graduates, well, they don't have a job. And then there's 46 million Generation X's out there, ages 35 to 49, but 23 million people don't have jobs. And then there's my generation, 77 million of us baby boomers, 50 to 64 in ages. And you know what we've done? We have socked $4.3 trillion away in IRAs and 401ks. Was that really a smart idea? And then there's the great generation, 40 million seniors, ages 65 plus in retirement. You know what the travesty is? That so many of them are on food stamps. We're going to help change America's future. There are 3 dilemmas that Americans face when it comes to retirement. And the first one's going to shock you. It's not making it to retirement. It's living too long in retirement. In other words, outliving your retirement income. You see, the ultimate benefit of our program is retirement income for life, and we can do that in an income tax-free environment. Is the IRA and the 401k really the best place to put your retirement nest egg? Well, not according to Time magazine. You see, the ugly truth is that the 401k is a lousy product. It's a financial flop. It has high fees. It has high risk. It has high taxes. But what if there was a way to opt out of the tax system with your retirement savings and have no risk to your growth? Take, for example, Cherry. Here in Sacramento, California, a nurse, age 63. Her husband passed away a few years ago. She had all of her retirement in the market, wasn't doing too well. She heard about our program, and she went to her stockbroker and said she was thinking of moving out of the market and into our retirement vehicle. Well, her stockbroker said, if you move your money now, Cherry, you'll never recoup your losses that you've already gotten. And so she thought she'd think about it. Well, the next 2 days, the stock market went down another 600 points. That's all it took. Now she's comfortable in the fact that she's got stock market-like returns on the upside, but no risk on the downside, and that she'll have a retirement of $28,000 per year, income tax-free from age 72 on. And should she become ill on the way to retirement, she can get up to $7,000 per month for over 4 years if she had a qualifying illness, and she was losing money consistently in the stock market. So what's meant by stock market-like returns? Well, you see, we are indexed to the market, but we're not in the market. Therefore, when the market goes up, your funds go up. But when the market goes down, you see, you're not in the market, so your funds don't go down. Let me give you some examples here, and I'm going to use the last 12 years of the stock market, the Standard & Poor's. Let's just say you had $100,000 12 years ago you put away for retirement, and one person put it into the stock market, the other person indexed to the stock market with us. Well, in the year 2000, congratulations. They made 19% in the stock market. The $100,000 is now worth $119,000. Yet with us, because we don't allow you to participate in the down market, we do cap the upside at 13%. So with us, you'd only be at $113,000. Now, in the next 3 years, the market went down, which means if you were in the market, you're down to $71,000. With us, we don't participate in the down markets, therefore you're still at $113,000. Now, in 2004, a banner year for the market, congratulations, 26%. You're all the way back up to only losing $10,000 after 5 years. With us, the 13% is on top of your high water mark, so now you have $127,000. Over the ensuing years, the stock market had its ups and its downs, so that finally at the end of 12 years, you made 0.19% per year for 12 years. Your $100,000 12 years later is $102,000. And you know what? When you take that money out, your gains are fully taxable. With us, because you had the upside potential without the downside risk, you grew at an average of 6.5% plus. You're now at $213,000, and all of your gains are income tax-free when you take them out. There's a big difference that taxes will have on your retirement. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the phases of retirement. For example, with an IRA or a 401k, you get a tax deduction when you put money into them, and it grows tax-deferred. Now notice I said tax-deferred because you're going to get walloped when you take the money out because it's taxable upon withdrawal, and when you die and transfer it to your family, it's taxable again. Yet with our tax-free alternative, although you don't get the tax deduction going in, it does grow tax-deferred. But when you take it out, it is now in an income tax-free environment, and when it's transferred to your heirs, again, in a tax-free environment. So do you want to pay taxes now while they're lower and on the seed, or later when they're higher and on the harvest? Pretty easy question. So now that you know that you can't outlive your retirement, what about consumer dilemma number 2? And that is, what if you get ill on the way to retirement and cannot continue to work in order to fund your retirement account? What if you're one of the 67% who will suffer a heart attack, stroke, or cancer before the age 65, and now you can't work to fund your retirement account? Well, you know what we'll do? We will fully fund it, and we will do it immediately, and we'll do that in a tax-free environment. You see, our client Juan out of the Los Angeles area, he joined us last year to put his retirement together. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with cancer a few months later. We wrote him a check for $344,000. You see, this living benefit check saved this family from emotional and financial devastation. And then there's consumer dilemma number 3. What if you die too soon? Remember, your family was counting on that retirement as well as you. If you die, your family is left with an underfunded retirement. Well, once again, we will fully fund it immediately, and again, in a tax-free environment. Take, for example, Ron in Linda Sharp. Ron retired. He was in public relations with Pacific Gas and Electric, and he heard about our program and said, this is too good to be true. So he asked his wife to check it out because, you see, she's an attorney. So Linda checked it out, and now she's our client. At age 56, starting the program, she'll fund the program for 6 years, and after 10 years total, we'll have a $19,000 a year income tax-free. Let me give you an example. A 35-year-old in good health. Let's say they want to put a monthly contribution in of $300. Well, $300 a month from age 35 to 65 with no interest would grow to $108,000. But because you get the upside potential of the market without the downside risk, it'll really grow to an illustrated $338,000. That means an income tax-free retirement in retirement that you can't outlive. Whether you live to 75, 85, 95, 105, it doesn't matter. $48,000 per year income tax-free. Now, should you get sick on the way to retirement, then we will fully fund the account, one lump sum, nearly $250,000 immediately. And if you die, well, then your family will get $310,000 funded into the account, income tax-free. So I think you're getting the picture. We have all of the pieces of the puzzle together regarding retirement. Whether you live too long, doesn't matter. Become ill on the way to retirement, we'll fund it for you. Die too soon, we'll take care of your family. So let me ask you, why are you here? Well, maybe you want to help us spread the word to help Americans retire with dignity, because it can be a very lucrative opportunity also. And so what I want to do is I want to show you the money. I want you to take, for example, Chuck and Colleen Small. Been in business for a number of years, have always been successful, but never this successful. You see, in 8 days in starting the program, they had 2 meetings with an average of 50 people in each meeting. They made overrides in excess of $6,000, and their organization earned over $21,000, and we're talking about 8 days. So let me show you the money. We're in the only industry in the world that would leverage your dollars 10 to 12 times to 1. That means that a client decides to start the program when they put in their first $300, $3,000 is then advanced immediately to the field and commissions. What other type of opportunity can give you 10 times what was put in the first place in commissions? Take, for example, David Weiner. He's 49. He's out of the San Jose area. Been successful before. But 3 weeks with this program, he earned $13,000 in personal production commissions, $5,000 in overrides. In fact, an agent in his group, and I'll introduce you to him in a moment, earned over $26,000 in that same period of time. So let's take a look at exactly how this would look. In our compensation structure, let's say an individual wants to start their program with $300 a month. Well, we're going to immediately advance to the field $3,000, and if you were the sales representative on that, you start off at the 30% level, or 30% of $3,000. You got $900, and your client only started with $300. Now, you could advance from there. If you have 3 people in your organization and they each do a sale, or a total of 3 sales, we're going to advance you now to 40%. And at 40% of $3,000, you'll make $1,200 per sale instead of $900. Now, we will advance you from the 30 to 40% level without doing other sales if you just want to go to our all-day training school held in your own town. We'll immediately advance you. Then you can advance to 50% and 60% and eventually up to our vice president level, 80%. 80% of $3,000 is $2,400 if you did the sale yourself. But what if you recruited somebody and they started at the 30% level and they did the sale, and you're at the 80% level? You get the difference of where they are at, 30%, and where you are at, 80%, or a total of 50% on that sale. 50% of $3,000 is $1,500, your override on a sale you didn't even make. And you know what? To get up this ladder from 30 to to 40 to 50 to 60%. Takes about a total of 50 sales and some recruiting to do that. But you know what? We even have a fast track program where you can get there a lot faster. How does that work? Well, let me show you. It starts with you becoming a product of the product. In other words, you believe that this is right for you, and you start your own retirement program. Well, that's one sale. And then you find 5 individuals like Bill and Mel, Pat, Sue, and Tom, and each of them do their own sale. Well, that would mean it's a training sale for you, the first 5, and we split commissions because we're going to assign an advanced trainer with you who will help you soup to nuts to learn everything you need to know from here on. It's a split commission, but you're still going to earn $600 on each one of those sales, or $3,000. Now let's take a look. You did 5 sales plus your own is 6 sales, and you made $3,000. That's our fast track. We're going to promote you to vice president right now, about 46 sales early. Otherwise, you'd have to go through the traditional promotion guidelines. Now, let's say each of those new reps want to go out and do their 5 on the fast track. Well, your override on those sets of 5s is $8,000 on each set of 5, or a possible $41,000 in income, plus the $3,000 on your own sales, $44,000 in potential in the first 60 days. Folks, we have people doing that in 21 days. For real. Let me give you an idea of some of the commissions that we paid out. And I'm going to use Christmas week as an example because that's normally a slow week in any business other than toys. You see, Paula, this is our top 10 countdown, and number 9 made $7,000 plus in commissions. On the number 5 position, Jeff, $17,000 in 1 week. That was Christmas week. The number 1 earner that week was Estrella, $34,000. We paid her in commissions in that 1 week. Now you got to understand, this was our 7th week, which is normally the worst week and the worst month. We paid out $153,000 in commissions just to the top 10, let alone the rest of the company. You know, most companies would kill for these types of results after, 3 years or more. Remember, I was going to introduce you to that fellow in David's group. Well, his name is Carlos. He's out of San Diego, and he did the fast track. In 3 weeks, he earned $26,000. He personally recruited 5 people. He became a product of the product himself. He had a total of 9 in his group, and his personal commission production was $18,000 to himself and $8,000 in overrides. So what kind of program would offer such a lucrative possibility? Well, it's called an indexed universal life program with living benefits. We call it lifestyle insurance. That's right. It's an insurance policy, but with living benefits. You see, it's indexed to the stock market, but it's not in there. How much more life insurance would you want if you got all of the benefits of the program and the policy while you're alive instead of a beneficiary after you passed away? That's what we're talking about, our living benefits, our index program, our retirement program. And you know what? I told you our affiliates are pretty solid. We work with some of the oldest and most established insurance companies in the world with billions in assets. Just the 4 primary companies that we have as our suppliers are all in the tens of billions of dollars in assets. One's over 100 billion, and most of them are nearly or over 100 years old. And we're a home-based business. That's one of the best ways to lower your taxes legally. That's right. Examples of deductible expenses would be your home as a principal place of business, your children as employees, meals and entertainment, computer, cell phone, fax machine, car mileage and leases, and many more. But here's a question for you. Can the IRS pay for your $300 a month retirement plan if that's what you wanted to save? It's up to you. Well, let's take a look. What if you had a job and your gross income was $50,000 a year? And you joined us at Freedom Equity Group. You don't have any income yet, so it's still only the $50,000 from your job. Deductible expenses on a job about $10,000. With a home-based business, probably $20,000. Taxable income drops from $40,000 to $30,000, which means in a similar tax bracket, your IRS share drops from $11,200 to $7,500. That's about $3,700 savings per year, or $300 per month. Did we just get the IRS to pay for your retirement program? One of the questions we always get is an insurance license required? Well, the answer is yes. But you know what? It's not like it used to be. It's easy to get. We are a profession, and we pay professionals. We have complete training available, top commissions and travel and incentive programs. As a matter of fact, on our website, you could just use the interactive map and click on a state and find out what it takes to get your license, because it could be done online. The course and cost is done online. It's about $60 or so. Complete online study program. You'll have sample state test, certificate of completion. The state licensing fee will be up there, as well as where you go to take the test and the contact information for the State Department of Insurance. So let's take a look at what's the difference between our professionally licensed business and a traditional home business, let's say network marketing. That you normally have an auto ship, $100 worth of products, plus tax and shipping probably comes out to $150. With us, well, you just pick how much you want to save each month for your retirement. Let's say you were spending $150 on your auto ship in a traditional networking business. Well, $150 invested with us would be $1,800 in commissions paid to the field instead of $50. Now, in the traditional business, your auto ship each month, well, it's consumed. It's gone. With us, it's not consumed. It's accumulated. It's part of your retirement. You would need thousands in your organization to make a six-figure income in a traditional home business. With us, hey, a dozen or two. You're going to be making six figures if they're active. And normally, the product is a result of learning about the opportunity. With us, hey, retirement is necessary regardless of the opportunity. And we did not increase the price of the product in order to pay those outstanding commissions. So let me also tell you a little bit about the Freedom Equity Group Field Management System and the Freedom Academy that will help you in your business no matter where you are. You see, we are assigning a professional insurance and sales trainer in each of the 400 largest metropolitan areas around the United States. That's right. So you're in California, you could sponsor somebody in Ohio, knowing that that individual that you sponsored in Ohio has compliant professional help at their fingertips at our local office in Ohio to help with their clients, to help with their sales, to help with their business building. Decentralized management throughout 400 different cities. And your new people can go through a full day of optional training. That optional training, they'll take home the complete business building set on audio and video, what to do, how to answer questions, how to do everything, including a workbook. Increased commissions, like we said, from 30 to 40% to start with. Daily video email tip of the day. Hey, here's the fellow. Do you recognize him? His name is Art Williams. He started a company called A.L. Williams. He brought nearly 1 million new agents into the industry. And he probably made more millionaires than any other company ever on a $50 a month premium. And you know what? We're doing about $300 or $400 a month on our average client. And he became a billionaire with the sale of the company. It's now called Primerica. You see, insurance companies want to buy back the block of business, not destroy the marketing arm. They still want the business to continue, the people to continue, the cash flow to continue. They just want to own the block of business, and so they buy it back like they did from Art Williams for nearly $1 billion and other companies for hundreds of millions of dollars. But let me ask you the question. What about the thousands of people in that company that helped create that value? Well, we think you deserve equity, not trophies. That's why our plan and our philosophy, we want to build it together with you for the next 5 to 7 years, and then we want to sell it. Now, that doesn't end the business. It still continues. The hierarchies, the organizations, they still continue. The cash flow still continues. It just means that the carrier will own the block of business. And know what we're going to do? With what normally has been tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, we want to share it with you, your exit strategy, your final opt-out. This is your retirement program, too. So We're fully functional right now, have been since late last year, but we actually are going to do an official launch in Las Vegas, Nevada on May 31st at Caesars Palace. You might want to join us there. And once we do the official launch, it'll cost $99 to join the program. Once our merchant account is set up right now, we'll be looking at $49 up until the launch. But guess what? There's currently no cost to sign up. You see, we don't have it set up, so you won't be charged now or a sign-up fee later. That's important. So what's next? Well, you want to get back with the person who invited you to this presentation, and you want to let them know where you are on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means you really don't have an interest, and you know what? That's okay. No is an acceptable answer. But 10 says, let's get going today. Anywhere in between means you have a few questions, and once they're answered to your satisfaction, then you're ready to go. And normally everybody does have 3 questions like, hey, is this real? Well, the companies we're affiliated with have tens of billions of dollars in assets. They're over 100 years old. We're in the 2nd largest industry in the world next to banking. That's about as real as it gets. Then they ask, well, can I do it? Well, let me ask you a question. We started off with the question, can you retire at age 65 with the lifestyle you had at age 64 and do it indefinitely? If the answer is no, everyone you know has the same answer. Can you invite them to this webinar we do every day? You bet you can do it. And finally, will you help me? And the answer is, yeah, I personally will help you. Myself, Rick Walsh, I'm VP of Sales of the company. And if you decided you wanted to go on the Fast Track program, I'm going to help you get that fast track or that fast start. Because a fast start is an easy start. Within the next week or so, we'll do a custom branded webinar together. What's a custom branded webinar? Well, you know what a webinar is because you're on one right now. A custom branded webinar is where you pick the time and the date. It's for your contacts only. I'll draw up a custom invitation for you to send out branded to you. You welcome the guest on, and I'll do the webinar. You see, your picture and bio will be on the first slide of the webinar, and customized follow-up letters will be sent out on your behalf, and we'll record this webinar, and it'll be given to you. You could post it on YouTube or on your page on the Internet, branding you as the leader of your group. And we also have 3 different 6-minute recorded phone calls. We call them sizzle calls that you could 3-way an individual in to learn about what we're doing. You want to get a pencil and copy these down. To introduce people to the concept on how they can retire with dignity, just dial them into area code 518-530-1512. Now, if you want to introduce them into the opportunity of how to make money by helping people retire with dignity, just change the last 4 digits of that phone number to 1513. Now, if you know an insurance agent who might want to utilize this to help them get in front of more clients and to expand their agency, and you want to be their sponsor, well, dial them into and change the last 4 digits to 1514. There's other resources for your due diligence, like this business opportunity webinar that we do Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We also have a sales leader executive search webinar, getting those key leaders in every city that you can use this to help sponsor the big fish, I guess you'd call it. We do this Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And if you're after insurance agents, we do one specific to them Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And again, our launch conference is 31 May, and our corporate website is www.fegcorp.com. We really do have a whole new world of opportunity. And that opportunity is to retire early and to retire in style and to retire tax-free. So what's your next step? Well, if you're not licensed, then start the licensing process. Start it today. It's pretty easy. And then you want to activate your own retirement program to start you on the fast track. That must be done in your first 7 days. Not completed. You just have to apply to start your own program within the first 7 days in order to secure your place on the fast track. And then you want to bring your top 5 coachable, serious associates and plan and execute to achieve your dreams and your goals. So we want to thank you for being on today's call. You really do need to get back with the individual who invited you here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Give them a call and let them know where you are at on that scale of 1 to 10. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.